we take a look at bandwagons that are ripe and ready for the picking.
Hey, you're on this Lions bandwagon. Bandwagon's full now.
There is definitely a growing contingent of easy come, easy go, fair weather NFL fans. If you are one of those folks looking around for a new wagon to hitch yourself to, then hey, this is the video for you. Detroit Lions. If you haven't jumped on the Detroit Lions bandwagon yet, don't worry, there's still time. Yes, they were in the NFC Championship game last year, but after decades of struggle, it is far from a foregone conclusion that 2023 wouldn't stand alone as an anomaly. That said, under Dan Campbell, it looks like this team is on the verge of something very special. And 2024 could be the year that they finally break through and get to the Super Bowl. Heck, they might even bring the Lombardi Trophy to the Motor City for the first time. Beyond their Super Bowl promise, there are plenty of fun reasons to root for this team. Head coach Dan Campbell has turned Detroit into a gritty, hard-nosed squad that plays with passion on every down. They play with a toughness that mirrors their head coach, and that mentality makes them a very dangerous team week in and week out. And they got a great guy with a great story under center in Jared Goff, who revitalized his career in Detroit after being labeled a bridge quarterback. The offense is also extremely explosive and just fun to watch with the electric Amon-Ra St. Brown and the always dangerous Jameson Williams on the outside. And David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs doing their thunder and lightning impression coming out of the backfield. The NFC North is wide open, and Detroit is primed to take control. If you're looking for a bandwagon with serious potential to go deep into the postseason, then the Lions should be your pick. But hey, don't wait too long. This train is about to leave the station. Caleb Williams. The hype surrounding the first overall pick in the draft, former USC quarterback Caleb Williams, is real and with very good reason. He has an electric arm and all the athleticism in the world to move around the pocket and keep the opposing defenses on their toes. This is definitely a good guy to hook yourself to, especially after a pretty meh week one, because, well, the Chicago Bears have given him the perfect platform to succeed right out the gate. Chicago has surrounded him with an impressive array of offensive weapons. That's gonna make his transition all the smoother. With DJ Moore and Keenan Allen providing veteran leadership at wide receiver and DeAndre Swift and Khalil Herbert offering a dynamic 1-2 punch in the backfield, Williams has the supporting cast to make waves early in his career. The offensive line, which has been a concern in the past, has also been revamped, giving him the protection that he needs to showcase his elite playmaking ability. Perhaps more importantly, Chicago's defense also looks pretty dang legit, which, as we saw in week one, will take a lot of pressure off of Williams and allow him to actually develop. So hey, buy in early on this kid. Xavier Worthy. You don't need us to tell you that the Kansas City Chiefs are good. But in 2024, with a chance to make history and three-peat no less, they might be even better than they were last year, and that is really saying something. And you know what? Speedster Xavier Worthy and his famed 4.21-second 40-yard dash are a big reason as to why. Worthy's blazing speed gives Patrick Mahomes another deep threat, and in Andy Reid's offense, probably the most explosive one that he's had since Tyreek Hill, that is a scary thought for opposing defenses. Worthy isn't just a burner though. He's got high-level route running skills and the kind of hands that'll allow him to make an impact at every level of the field, especially with Travis Kelce still dominating in the middle. Double Kelce and leave Worthy one-on-one? That is a lose-lose scenario for everyone facing Kansas City this year. With the Chiefs chasing history, aiming for a three-peat in 2024, there is no better time to get on the Xavier Worthy bandwagon. He is about to become the NFL's next superstar. And hey, you don't want to miss it. Buffalo Bills. When they zig, sometimes you have to zag. And that is exactly the opportunity that you have with the Buffalo Bills this year. Sure, they lost a number of key players this offseason, including Stephon Diggs, and the drama surrounding the team has left many of their fans, at least the ones outside of Western New York, jumping ship now. But you know, that's exactly why now is the perfect time to hop on the Buffalo bandwagon. Because let me tell you, as long as Josh Allen is under center and leading the charge, this team is far from finished. There may be some growing pains, but the Bills have retooled the receiving core with promising young talent like Keon Coleman, who is turning heads all of training camp. And if you join up with Bills Mafia, you not only get to root for one of the most exciting quarterbacks in the game, but you also get to do it with some of the most passionate fans in the entire business. But hey, just a word to the wise, if you do, be sure you stay away from any stray tables. Indianapolis Colts. If you're a fan of the Carolina Panthers, or heck, maybe the New England Patriots and you're looking for a young, exciting team with the highest ceiling to root for, you may want to consider joining the Colts bandwagon while you still can. Anthony Richardson's potential is off the charts. If he can stay healthy, Indianapolis could really surprise a lot of people this season, especially with how well-rounded their team looked last year while he was out. Factor that in with his explosiveness, and Indy could be unlocking a whole new level of football that their fans haven't seen since the Andrew Luck days. And Richardson isn't alone either. The Colts have a strong supporting cast led by Jonathan Taylor, who is still one of the best running backs in the entire league. Indy also boasts a solid offensive line and emerging playmakers at wide receiver, who, alongside Michael Pittman Jr., should provide enough optionality for Richardson to thrive. Plus, you get the added benefit of aligning with a good-hearted Midwestern fan base, who will most likely be ready to welcome you with open arms. Los Angeles Rams. The Los Angeles Rams are entering 2024 for what seems like one last ride, or at least one of the last rides for their veteran core. And with Sean McVay calling the plays for that explosive bunch, we think it's a ride worth hopping on. The last couple of seasons have been a little bit up and down, but hey, Matthew Stafford is now back and healthy, and with Cooper Kupp returning from injury, this offense has the firepower to compete with anyone. McVay is still one of the best offensive minds in the game, and he has shown time and time again that he can scheme up ways to put points on the board. The loss of Aaron Donald hurts on the defensive side of the ball, but they still have enough pieces to at least remain sufficient. If you're into betting on a comeback story, then the Rams are your team. They've got the experience, the talent, and the coaching to make a deep playoff run. And in the NFL, hey, anything is possible. Don't sleep on Los Angeles. They might just surprise you. Jim Harbaugh. If you're looking for pure entertainment in 2024, then look no further than Jim Harbaugh and the Los Angeles Chargers. Sure, it may not be the high-flying passing attack kind of fun that you'll see with other top coaches in the league, but Harbaugh's personality and the hard-nosed football he gets his teams to play is enough to captivate the masses. Whether or not you believe that he can turn the Chargers into a contender right away, it is still worth getting on board. I mean, think about what he did with the 49ers back in the 2010s, or maybe even more recently in the college ranks with Michigan. With Harbaugh, it is not a matter of if he will turn a program into a winner, but when. He has a proven track record, and he has taken over a Chargers team that has more than enough talent. It just has always seemed to lack the right captain to steer the ship. This one might be a little bit of a longer-tailed investment, but rest assured, it will pay off. Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans might not be the flashiest team in the NFL, but they've got something brewing, make no mistake about it. Under head coach Brian Callahan, the Titans are quietly putting together a roster that could surprise a lot of people. Given his pedigree, the offensive line should be absolutely rock solid. And that should bode well for them, given the flashes that Will Levis showed last season. With more time in the pocket, less hits, and another year of development, he could take a big step forward as Tennessee's quarterback. But it's not just about Levis. The Titans have been understatedly aggressive this offseason, adding key pieces like Calvin Ridley and Tony Pollard to bolster their offense, and a bona fide stud in L'Jarius Sneed from the reigning champs on the defensive side of the line. Tennessee could be a dark horse contender this year, and if they can eke out a division crown over the favorite Texans, then you've got a good old-fashioned Nash Vegas for a playoff game. I don't know about you, but that sounds like a bandwagon worth joining to me. Sam Darnold. Alright, so it didn't exactly make headlines this offseason when Minnesota signed Sam Darnold in free agency, but that was because J.J. McCarthy was the heir apparent to Kirk Cousins, who left for the Atlanta Falcons after not being able to find a price tag that made sense for both him and the Vikes. It was unlikely that McCarthy was going to be the day one starter, and now that he's out for the year with a torn ACL that he suffered in the preseason, the reins have been handed to Darnold entirely. So now, he has a chance to revive his entire NFL career. Backing Sam Darnold might raise some eyebrows, but hey, hear me out. The former USC star has had a rocky NFL career, but he's still off to a very impressive start in 2024 with the Vikings. And with the weapons around him in the form of Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, he should be set up for success. Not to mention that the run game is being built around a very motivated Aaron Jones, who wants to show his former team, the Green Bay Packers, that he still has a lot more left in the tank. This whole Vikings team is just burgeoning with motivation. No one was expecting much out of them this season, and Sam himself should have a chip on his shoulder after being written off by multiple teams. And so far, he is playing like he's got something to prove. With the talent that the Vikings have on offense and a solid complementary defense, if Darnold can keep this up, Minnesota might be one of the best stories in the season. And by supporting Sam, you can be a part of it. Maybe not a super popular pick for Jets fans, but he's had a tough go and looked great week one. So who's to say that he can't keep it up for the entire season? But hey, which NFL bandwagon do you think is the best to jump aboard this year? Were there any that you disagreed with? Was there anyone that we may have missed here? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, then hey, clicking the like button helps us out a ton and we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, then subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.